A lake so nice we had to visit it twice. Well, I guess I did. I highly doubt I got anyone to watch the first movie, but I digress. Return to Bloodfart Lake is the highly anticipated sequel and swan song of writer-director Hyp3r. Chris also wrote and directed Terror at Bloodfart Lake, so I need to correct that because I'm pretty sure I only mentioned Ron Bonk in that review. Anyway, redaction made just in case. Let's move on. So, did Hyp3r make another classic? Or is this a turd in the punch bowl? Let's discuss. The plot is as such. Jimmy Van Brunt is back and killing everyone he can. Jimmy is the scarecrow slasher villain from the first movie that kills people with corn cobs, in case you needed a reminder. In this film, we get a group of students that go to the cabin where the killings happened in the first film, so they can investigate what had happened. Ben, the main protagonist from the first movie, makes a return as well, and so does Leo DeChamp. Ben finds out that Jimmy is back, and finds Leo in order to stop the killer once more. The group of students do end up at the cabin. While they do show an interest in investigating what happened, it's the teacher that really has her heart set on visiting the place. She wants to create a documentary/movie to make herself famous. As one can imagine, Jimmy starts killing off the students, and Ben and Leo show up. Do they stop Jimmy? Well, no, not exactly. They basically stand in the cabin where the murders happened in the first film, and the movie ends with Jimmy attempting to have a kid with another character. So yeah, the movie ends on a cliffhanger. I'm really mad about that. I want another Bloodfart movie. Return to Bloodfart Lake is another fun movie. While I prefer the first movie, Return is pretty good. The crew jokes are still there in abundance, and the ridiculous characters are there as well. We get some of the great characters back in Return, as I already mentioned with Ben, Leo, and Jimmy. We also get some new, odd additions to the group, and some characters that shouldn't be there at all. The ones that shouldn't be there are the characters that died in the first movie. They come back with no explanation. Caspian is back, and I can't even remember if I mentioned him in my Terror at Bloodfart Lake video. I even forgot about him when writing the script. He's integral to the plot, but I won't spoil why. While the bar for jokes wasn't that high in Terror at Bloodfart Lake, the jokes in Return are on par. Now, when I say the bar wasn't high, I'm referring to other people. I think they're funny, which probably says more about me than anything else, but again, I digress. Anyway, the characters all still overreact in comical ways, even the main protagonist, Ben. Ben went from being one of the only people to play it straight in the first movie to chewing the scenery in the sequel. Actually, I feel like he's doing more than just chewing the scenery, but it does make for a fun performance. The rest of the characters all have one defining character trait that they base their entire performance around, such as being in old films, being a New Yorker, or being promiscuous. It's ridiculous, but it works. One last thing I'll mention is the soundtrack features some great ska music. There are points in the film where the crew has to travel around, and that's when the ska music hits, and it's a great time. So, like I said before, I prefer Terror at Bloodfart Lake over Return to Bloodfart Lake, but Return to Bloodfart Lake has its share of great moments in it. It's just as schlocky, and I'm all here for it. I'm disappointed that it ended in a cliffhanger, but I do still recommend watching this movie. If anything, it's 100% better than Thanksgiving 3 or Intercessor: Another Rock and Roll Nightmare. So, there's that. Okay, one last thing for real before I wrap up this video. There's actually another movie featuring these characters. It's called Evil Dead Inbred Rednecks. The description I read says that Leo DeChamp is a serial killer in this movie, and it looks like Caspian is there as well. I have no idea if it continues the continuity of the Bloodfart Lake movies, but I will find out when I get a chance to watch it. Anyway, if you actually watched Terror at Bloodfart Lake and haven't seen Return, then give it a watch.